This is my audience. This is Chris. This is Ruby. And this is Alexis. Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot. But the Grinch, who lived just north of Whoville, did not. This is how the Grinch stole Christmas. The Grinch hated Christmas the whole Christmas season. Now please don't ask why. No one quite knows why. It could be because his head wasn't on straight. It could be perhaps that his shoes were too tight. But I think most likely the reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. But whatever the reason is, his heart or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve hating the Whos, staring down from his cave with a sour, grinchy frown, at the warm lighted windows below their town. For he knew every Who down in Whoville beneath was busy now, hanging a mistletoe wreath and stockings. He snarled, with a sneer, tomorrow is Christmas, it's practically here. Then he growled, with his Grinch fingers drumming, I must find a way to somehow stop Christmas from coming. For tomorrow, he knew all the Who girls and boys would wake up bright and early. They'd rush for their toys, and oh, then the noise. That's the one thing he hated. Then they would feast. He couldn't stand that in the least. And then he liked least of all, the whole town sings. But then he got an awful idea. An idea that's extremely awful. The Grinch got a wonderfully awful idea. What a great Grinchy trick. He would dress up like Santa Claus, and he would trick him and go down to the town, but he couldn't find a reindeer. So he called his dog to be his reindeer. The Grinch went to the first house on his sleigh and went down the chimney to steal their stockings, presents, and their roast beast. And now the Grinch grinned. I will stuff up the tree. While stuffing up the tree, he gets caught by Cindy Lou Who. He lies. She asks why. She goes, why are you stealing my tree? And he goes, I'm taking it to fix the tree. He takes the tree and the sleigh back up after he steals all the presents from the whole town back up to his cave. He goes up there and he goes to the side of Mount Crumpet, and he rode with his load to the tip-top to dump it. Then the Whos down in Whoville would cry boo-hoo, but the Grinch listens, and he sees that there's no disappointment in the town. The Grinch hears singing. The whole Whoville town was singing without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came. And what happened then? Well, in Whoville, they say the Grinch's small heart grew 3 times in that day. And the minute his heart didn't feel so tight, he whizzed with his load through the bright morning light, and he brought the toys and the food for the feast back down to Whoville. He himself joined in and carved the roast beast.